Welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast. Cortez Paulus here.
Brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
And Kevin Carter to my right. We're laughing at the Jacksonville Suns. Well, new team name, Jumbo Shrimp.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
And they have a shrimp with arms. And
he looks like Larry the Lobster.
I really can't explain it, but
SpongeBob, don't even try.
I wonder what kind of theme night they're gonna have here. They're gonna have shrimp night or lobster night or
Forrest Gump night.
Bubba.
I gotta find Bubba.
Bubba loves shrimp.
There's bowl of shrimps, fried shrimps.
What if they have
shrimp
someone
soup.
named Bubba on their team?
What
Bubba?
if they just bring Bubba in?
Now you have to find a black guy named Bubba.
No, just bring in the guy that played Bubba.
That too, or
just bring in the actor named Bubba, the actor that played Bubba. I'm pretty sure he's not doing anything, and just get him to come in for one of the games. Get Lieutenant Dan, get Forrest.
Oh man!
Ask Tom Hanks to come in and do.
Oh man!
And do Forrest Gump night at the thing.
Yeah,
They already said the hashtag for him is going to be cast the net.
That is bad, dude. That is bad.
The chance, let's go shrimp. Let's go. Are we going shrimping?
I can't explain the logo and everything like that, but while we were laughing at that,
look, one of the logos is the shrimp coming out of a pot like he's in a crab boil. And then behind it is like little pieces of corn and a piece of sausage, just like he knocked over the pot. Oh.
Oh, that's bad, man.
This hurts.
All right,
it's terrible.
Guys, it's been a while since we talked football, and
it's terrible.
Let's get laughing at that. Let's review some of the games. We're not gonna go through all of them, but we're just gonna go through some of the things right here.
Oh, and for those of y'all that don't know, the mascot is a dog. Like the mascot they have for the Suns was a dog, and he was called Southpaw. They're keeping the mascot. So we have a dog as a mascot for a team named Shrimps. So now they need to rename him. And I say Hush Puppy.
There we go.
Or Grits. Name him Grits.
Grits. Something, and then you just get a can of or thing of Old Bay seasoning, and just, I don't know. If you bring one to the game, you get like half off or something. I don't know, dude. This got so many ideas, man.
Oh, Daisy.
Well, listen. I know we're on the coast.
Cocktail sauce,
and I know fishing is a big part of
cocktail
Jacksonville,
sauce.
but.
And if they hit a home run, it's not called a tater here. It's going to be called a tartar.
Oh, the puns that Kevin's going to come
so
with.
So much.
Kevin's going to get his hat, man. He's ready for.
I may get the one hat, but other than that, nope. Nope. They can boil it for all I care.
Oh, yeah, hey. Not the baseball, we imagine we were talking about, but it's the rebrand of logo, and hey, it's here in Jacksonville, so we just kind of talk about that before the show.
Terrible.
And of course, we brought a little bit of branding to it. But hey, let's talk a little bit of football, and
terrible.
Let's talk about that primetime game between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Where Dak Prescott actually finally had some trouble.
Yeah.
And he actually had to come through it, and now everybody's kind of like, Dak's for real. Because now you've seen him have a bad game and still perform well when he needed to and win the ball games.
Question I want to ask you now, because everybody's still talking about this when Tony Romo comes back. I mean, I know we kind of talked about it briefly, but this guy has done so many good things for the Cowboys. And like you said, you saw the look where he came down from earth. But so far this season, 1,700 yards, 65% completion percentage, and only threw 2 interceptions, which was one was that game.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
No, you don't. You do not whatsoever bring in the hunchback of Dallas in Tony Romo. You do not bring him in whatsoever. You do not bring him in unless Dak Prescott has a total collapse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time you bring him in. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I asked my dad 2 weeks ago about this, and I remember I told you about this. I want to get his opinion now when I go back, to visit my family this weekend. All right, you still? I want to ask, are you still on the Tony Romo train? Because
the big thing was nobody knew how he was going to react to something happened.
Adversity.
Yeah, you didn't know how he was going to react to something like this, and now you see that he can do. If he has a bad game or something, he has that mentality where he shrugs it off, and he came through at the end of the ball game, and that's what you wanted to see.
Team is running around him too. The defense been better.
Put it this way: you've seen Tony Romo at the end of ball games just completely collapse.
Yeah,
he didn't. He didn't completely collapse.
And don't get this is a solid Eagles team too, where rookie quarterback they're on, and he did a pretty good job in a divisional rival game, and he held up his own. So I told my dad, if it's working, don't change it.
Nope.
You really don't change it. I mean, he's so adamant about, imagine them with Romo. I was like, well, no, right now you don't want to change anything because they're doing pretty darn well.
No, you imagine it with Romo, you start getting turnovers, you start trying to get the ball force-fed to Des Bryant, and that's when the turnovers happen, and that's what Dak's problem was.
Yeah.
He's trying to force-feed the ball to Des Bryant too much earlier in the game instead of doing what he did before and letting it flow.
Mm-hmm.
If he played within the flow of the game and just got it to whoever's open instead of trying to force-feed, he would have been better off.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have thrown them picks. He would have been able just to go. But instead, he was trying to force it to Dez, and when you try that forcing mess, bad things happen.
Gotcha.
Instead of just letting the flow of the game come to you.
All right.
He was doing it all with Cole Beasley and Jason Witten and Terrence Williams before Dez came back. Just continue to just play within the flow of the game. Don't all of a sudden go, I'm going to go to him. No. We know he's getting the big bucks, but don't just pretend like he's the only one there when you succeeded without him.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about the Panthers and Cardinals. The Panthers ended up breaking that the slump that was in, but Cam Newton was a victim of picks again.
He was a victim of an ass breaking.
And
he was getting the living dog mess beat out of him. And I can see where he has a gripe because I counted a whole bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
To where he's getting just walloped and nailed, and he slides and he gets hit. And he's running out of bounds, he gets nailed. He gets hit in the head, and nothing gets called. And the mentality of why they don't call it is weird. Because if this happened to other guys, there'd be flags flying all over the place.
Yeah.
But for what reason it goes on Cam, I don't know. Cam's life matters too.
I'm telling you. Well, the defensive lineman that was him was Calais Campbell. He got fined $18,000 for that low hit on Cam Newton.
Yeah, the low hit. But when he did it, you could see him come through the line. He kind of got bumped as he was coming through, and he went in low. And you see him apologize to Cam afterward.
Yeah.
You seen him legit get up and say, that was my bad. I didn't mean to. That was it. I was falling as I was coming through, and that's why I hit you low. He goes, I didn't mean to. You can see the apologies and something. Still should have been called, but you can see where Campbell was like, dude, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. But the other hits he was taking where he's running out and just getting nailed in the head and everything, none of that's getting called.
Yeah. You
preach to us that you want all this safety and concern for the players and everything else. Yet, when we watch the games, we're like, they're getting killed. They're getting tore up. Do something about it. Don't just make it one-sided to if certain people get it, they get the attention. Everybody should be getting the same look, no matter a star player or down to your third string.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you agree with Ron Rivera on the Shaq analogy, Shaquille O'Neal analogy, where he's talking about
because he's bigger and everything
and
else, he's taking the ass whooping.
Because you expect him as this physical specimen of his size, and you see him,
Yeah, it has some leeway, but it shouldn't, because they shouldn't even look at it that way.
You're right.
It shouldn't even be looked at it that way. He's playing a position that's the most important position in football. If Aaron Rodgers was running around, who runs around? If he was getting hit like that, they throw flags.
Mm-hmm.
If Peyton was still in the game and he got hit like that, they throw a flag. If the Golden Boy gets hit like that, they throw a flag. If anybody, Matt Ryan right now, if he got hit like that, they would throw a flag.
Yeah.
Carr, but Russell Wilson even got hit like that before when he's ran and he's got flags thrown.
Mm-hmm.
So why doesn't Cam get him? And Cam has every right to go, you know what, I want to talk to Goodell and see what he has to say about it, because he should.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's getting hit like some of these other guys that get flags.
Gotcha.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
What do you think about the ending to the Raiders and Buccaneers game?
Holy mother of God. First off, I thought the game was never going to end because I thought the Raiders were legit going to get a flag on every single play that happened. Mm-hmm. 23 penalties called on the Raiders in that game, a new NFL record, for over 300 yards. It was over 200-something yards worth of penalties. But then Derek Carr throws for 500 yards against the Buccaneers. It was
almost another tie until that play broke loose.
Yeah, they were in field goal range too.
Bucks couldn't just wrap up and tackle the guy.
No.
It was going to be over, but the guy just...
Sebastian Fatakowski wouldn't have missed the second one.
I mean, it was almost going to be the second tie that we had between...
In a day. The second tie in a day, the third one this year.
So, in London gets a tie. So, I knew...
Well, they like it over there.
Yeah.
It's a toy!
But, we saw...
This was better than 0-0.
yeah. But there were some jokes they made over there talking about there was awaiting a shootout.
There's no penalty kicks.
No penalty kicks?
There's no penalty kicks.
Nah, it's unfortunately going to
the penalty kicks. Let them kick a field goals until they get done.
All right.
Any penalty kicks.
Any other games you want to talk about before I let you go on your...
Well, you had the Broncos and the Chargers game. Broncos get their Charger revenge.
Charger revenge. We got, I think our defense scored many points at our offense.
Yes, they did.
So, listen, Phillip Rivers, for some odd reason, played well against the Broncos.
Phillip Rivers plays well against everybody.
And he does, but he tends to bring against the Broncos.
But he played like crap.
Yeah, but, yeah, man, they were still right there. I mean, it was a scary game, man, and we pulled it out a little bit and like that, and Kevin was messing with me because he already had
I was watching the
ahead of time.
I was watching the game, so it was ahead, and I'm like 3, 2, 1. Cortez is going to cheer right about now. Yeah, and I'm like.
Already seen it.
I'm like, I know what happened already.
Didn't want to tell you, but I
tried to ruin it for you. I was like, touchdown. And then you were like, woohoo. I'm like, I told you. Good old tape delays delays in streaming.
All right, let's go to your Thursday game.
Because you forbidden not to watch it on regular TV for some odd reason.
Well, it was the day me and Kevin had some Chinese food. We ordered some food. It's also from the Gator game, which we'll talk about later on.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Gator and the Bulldogs game. We'll talk about that in a few. But
yes, because we have to talk about the polls that just came out.
We will. And Kevin like, hey, man, go pick up some food, bro. I don't feel like moving.
Yeah, I was dead.
So I intended to go watch the game at a bar, but once I ate Chinese food, I passed out.
He was done. Yeah, he was done.
I passed out, so I was like, it's not going to happen. I was maybe a little bit tired from the Gator game. I went to meet with some friends at the games afterwards. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah, see, he not only went to the game, he went out afterwards.
Yes.
See, I know when to say when. I was done after the game.
Yeah, so.
I don't even get invited nowhere after the game because people know better.
Yeah, Kevin just going to come home and.
Yeah, they know better.
Do this thing,
I was done.
Yeah. It was funny. We got back and Kevin just went to bed. He was trying to watch over the Florida State Clemson game. And
part of the way through, I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm done.
Felt bad for him. I'm watching my Cleveland Magic game and screaming.
Oh, he scared the living.
I thought he was still up.
He scared the stuffing out of me.